Thank you for tuning in, parents of Gemini children. You have a very cool reading for the week of May 27th through June 2nd. I'm not sure. Yeah. So this was the first card that I pulled, or it stuck out to me, and I was like, who is this for? And I'm like, yep, this is for Gemini children. So it was just something about the card that spoke to me that this was particularly for Gemini children, and they have the goal this week. So if you can see, there's a lot of stuff going on. This person is contemplating. There's a lot of thoughts in their mind, a lot of imagery, things that they are, mulling over. But you can't see that by looking at this person, looking at their face. So a lot of this is going on behind the scenes, which also speaks to the nature of Geminis, that you may see one thing, but you don't understand the duality that's going on back here. So it's not a bad thing. They're not upset, but they're just contemplating. So the goal speaks of water, creation, emotions. I can't say for sure. I can't say if this is triggered by something that took place, like if it was something at school or just maybe something of their awareness popped up that gave them a perception of something that they never considered before. But for whatever reason, as it pertains to Gemini children this week, they are in a state of contemplation. And I feel that it almost spills over into, your life. And it could just be this ping pong match of them feeding off of you, you feeding off of them. But it's definitely something that is connected in your home this week. So you guys have the Malachite card in reverse. And I'll flip it over so you can see. It's a beautiful green color, and it's got all those little circles. So it could speak of there's a secular pattern, or something going round and round, something familiar to you. Normally in the upright, this card speaks of healing, change, insight, loyalty, and patience. But because it's in the reverse, I just get a more predominant sense that something is stuck. And it's, stuck. It's an unrest. It's just not a friction, but just a restlessness, or just something is, it's like a tension or a frustration energy, but just wish this, would settle or whatever. But it's like an unrest is someone, if they're restless or, can't sit still, something's bothering them, an annoyance, an irritant, something like that. And it may not necessarily be an irritant, but the energy or the spirit behind it is just this, something is unsettled. And maybe that's the word that I need to use. So I can't say for sure. I'm not getting the sense that this is as a result of something that occurred, an occurrence. But I get the sense that wherever they are, maybe they're in a growth phase where internally they're coming upon a season, a new change, and it's causing them to be in I'm not even going to try it, a contemplative state. I was going to try to make a new word, a contemplative. I'm like, nah, don't bother. So I think it could just be developmental. It's something internal for sure, internally motivated, internally caused. It's not something external. So it could be they just within themselves something has come up where they're just like, okay, something is changing, something is about to change. It was maybe something they saw or witnessed that caused them to think, and that caused the change in them, like their thoughts. So it's very internal. It's not something externally that happened to them that caused them. They saw something, it produced a thought about their awareness of how they saw things, and from there they took it upon themselves to go into more of a contemplative state. And right now, whatever they've gained insight on, it's caused a little bit of a restlessness, because maybe whatever it is, they can't do anything about it right now. And so maybe they feel stuck. You know, and that happens too. You get this great insight, but it's like, crap, I'm only 10. I can't do anything, or I feel as though I can't really make the waves that I'd like to, because I can't even drive a car. I don't have my license, you know? So it could be something like that. These cards were not in this order, but for some reason I felt it to put them in this order, like logical, which is funny because the thinker speaks of logic. So what you guys have going on here, as far as maybe how you can support your child, but you have the thinker, you have the clean it up card, the fates, and the happy, whatever that means. The thinker card speaks of maybe looking at something logical, observation, really doing some like filtering, some pros and cons, like really analyzing a circumstance. And then so that you can, because the desired result is fruitfulness. The desired result is efficiency, productivity, something along those lines. You want some action, you want to beget something that you can show from it. And so this is like maybe brainstorming. And then you're like, okay, we've thought, I see that this is an issue, so it's time to clean it up. And you are getting rid of mindsets, instances, physical things, anything that is not in alignment with your path. And it is though you are getting rid of what no longer serves you. And I will bring this up so you can see. It's the clean it up card. He's cleaning it up. Isn't that awesome? You got like a dirty star. It's just star coming up from the ashes. And so that you can see the thinker card. Thinker. It's just a thinking. See? Okay. Then when you clean it up and you get rid of what no longer serves you, it's like either you're left with the fates or the acceptance of what is will be. Like what you are, it's coming to terms with and with what's left from that. Acceptance, this is how it I know I'm saying the same things, but it's like a deep, like a confirmation. I get it now. Something like that in your soul, that it's like, this is it. I'm coming to terms with this. Where is this? How do I, thank you. It's like, how do I get this glare out? But that's what we have going on here with the fates. So once you've, done some analytical soul searching, you've processed things, you've divvied it up and filtered it through with what's your good, your bad, you've accepted what's left, and then it's like, we can celebrate, happy, and you're just dancing on an egg with some balloons and a bird and some glittery confetti stuff. So it's like, it's a process. So I don't know if this pertains to your child. I don't know if this is pertaining to you and your life and your business. It's probably both. I think what you're probably doing in this week, especially with the extra, holiday, like the day off of work, you probably are just taking stock into what's going on in your home, what's going on in your children's life, what's working, what's not working, and attempting to strike a balance. I think that it could be job specific, it could be child specific, it could be you specific, it could be family, it could be household. But in all of that, there's an instance, either something is eating at you, or something has just come to your awareness that something needs to change, and you've gone through this process to strike a better balance. I mean, something is not working, obviously, and that's what's caused you to go through this process. I would just have an awareness, hold space for your child. They may not say too much this week. They may not, which is weird for Geminis. It's like, what? You're not talking. Something's up. So just hold space, be aware, be cognizant, have this in the back of your mind of what your child may be experiencing. If, maybe ask them in a nonchalant, indirect way, hey, how's it going? Or what are you thinking about? Or what's on your mind? Or, you want to talk about it, or something like that. While you were trying to balance everything that you have going on. Because I can't say that you have a severely full plate. I think it's just prioritizing mentally what you're trying to do. I don't get the sense that you're overloaded, even though mentally you may feel that way. But I don't think it's so much a heavy burdened schedule as much as it is your mental perception of everything that you feel that you have to do. So you are encouraged to have a balance in your work, rest, and play life. And it says it's important for you to have fun along with fulfilling your responsibilities. So just encouraging you to strike the balance. Find something in the middle that gets everything done and allows you to have a level of self-care, which is so important, because if you can't take care of you, who can? And just remember, yes, you are one of a kind. I think this specifically speaks to your unique gifts and talents, that perhaps this is a strong suit for you to be able to analyze and figure and sort things out and accept what doesn't need to change, and accept, maybe what does need to change, or whatever, and then move on to a productive end. You could have a Capricorn essence in your chart, or a Virgo, or some kind of earth element in your chart that gives you this kind of linear, analytical process about yourself. I know that I do have a lot of earth in my chart, which is interesting because I'm fire, but I have a Cancer. Cancer rising. I was like, do I say it, or do I just refer to it as water? It doesn't matter. But yeah. And you're like, what's that? That is another video for another time. But yeah, I see a lot of mind work, a lot of mental. This is a very mental week for you and your child. They're thinking about stuff. You're thinking about stuff, and trying to mentally find the balance, because you don't physically find the balance. Everything starts in the mind. Okay. So remember that you are unique. You are one of a kind. Thank you for listening to this video. I pray, and I'm grateful that it blesses you. Feel free to leave comments, likes, shares. Those are always appreciated. And if you don't like a video, tell me why. It's always helpful so I can improve. I appreciate it. Have a great week, and we'll see you again next time.